Today we're going to be talking about where we're at with this car and what my plans are. You know, I got a turbo, I got intakes. Now this here is Samantha. Samantha, baddest bitch on the block. That's around 550 horsepower. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kruddykarl and I make videos that are, you know, above decent quality, if you know what I mean. But today we're just gonna be doing a quick update video on Samantha. If you don't follow me or subscribe to the channel, you should probably do that. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Hit the like button. Let's get into it. There's so much going on in here today. I've been practicing polishing my hood so I can practice. So when I go to polish this car, it'll look great. So I've been practicing polishing this hood. It's looking really good. This is the only side that we've done, or that I've done right here. I've been practicing right here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There's some scratches here and all around, but like this section's looking pretty good. I can definitely go back and do a lot more, so that's what we're gonna do. But not today. That's just something for me to practice. So if you're new to the channel or anything like that, I do have a second car aside from Lexi over there. Lexi, that's my drift car. That's the one I was building to really be a drift car, but now she's a daily. Now this here is Samantha. Samantha, baddest bitch on the block, decided to throw a rod and forgot that she didn't have the hands to catch it. So she sits just like this right now. And so today we're gonna be talking about where we're at with this car and what my plans are and what I'm gonna do about this. Now you're probably saying to yourself, LS swap it, 2JZ swap it, K24 swap it, which actually aren't bad ideas. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put a new motor into it. Now you're probably asking, well, Carl, what motor? Let me answer that for you. So seeing as I have a buttload of parts, things, and more parts that would just slap on to another FA20, right? And what I plan to do, you know, I got a turbo, I got intakes, I got exhaust manifolds, I got oil coolers. All this stuff is gonna slap right back on to another FA20. So rather than trying to part it out and things like that, I thought it would be way more fun to just rebuild the FA20, make it stronger, bring it back. Samantha will be back to her full glory. Now you're probably asking yourself, what motor am I gonna go with? Am I gonna buy a used motor, slap everything back on? The answer is no. I do not want to put a used motor in this car at all. It's nothing against anyone else, nothing against used parts or anything like that. It is simply because I want this car, everything that's gone on this car has been new. And it's nothing against used parts, but for me personally, I just want, if something goes wrong, I'd rather it be because I didn't install something correctly, rather than it being something that, you know, I bought something, it said it was in good condition, I checked it out, and with my knowledge, it seemed like it was in good condition, and then I have to pay somebody else to look at it and stuff like that. It's easier if I just bought new parts, installed it, it's fresh, I know it's good, and then if there's any problems, it really could just come from something that I might have done wrong. There's nothing wrong with buying used parts or anything like that. So, the motor that is gonna go inside of Samantha, drum roll please. It's gonna be another FA20. I'm gonna buy a block from IAG, stage 2, 10.5 to 1 compression ratio. We're gonna do upgraded valve springs. I think it's the SuperTech single spring, so it'll allow us to rev out to about 8,500. Gonna do a revamping of my heads, gonna get the stage 2 block, and we're gonna slap that all together, and then we're gonna tune this bad baby, and we're gonna see what happens. Now you're probably saying to yourself, all right, cool. Now, how much power is Samantha gonna be putting down onto the ground? To answer that, realistically, the motor that I'd be buying from IAG would be good for what is on their website 600 brake horsepower with, and then if you take into account I don't know how to convert that, but if I'm pretty sure and I understand that correctly, that's around 550 horsepower, like that I could put to the wheels with that motor, with everything else built, axles, trans, and things like that alike. We're not going for that just yet. We're gonna start out with going for that 400 to 450 range, somewhere like that. Do still have the stock trans on this car. I have stock axles on the car. And those would be like my weakest links after the motor is built, is my trans and my axles. Then the next part of it would be to, if I really wanted to do anything or to put power down in this car, I would probably say trans, axles, and then I'm still in between just really like going through and just really servicing my heads. Instead of just doing a full service, redoing my valves, springs and stuff like that, really just like building the heads as well. And that's something that I'm still trying to figure out if I really want to do it. But as of right now, stage 2 block, upgraded springs, redecking and resurfacing my heads with IAG, and then slapping it all back together. And then we would effectively, with the turbo setup that I have, be able to make roughly around 400 to 450 horsepower on E85. That's kind of the goal. That's where I want to do, and that's where we're at. So you're probably saying to yourself, Carl, where's the motor at? Well, this is probably why you don't know this. I just went back to school, so I've been paying for school. School's paid off and stuff like that. So now it's really just saving for the engine and just really taking my time. I'm not trying to rush it. I do have another car, but I definitely do want to get this car back on the road. So I would say right now we are in September. This car will be back on the road by roughly around, I want to say mid to late November. That's the goal, or early December. Other than that, things that would have to change that I'm changing now since the motor is out. I do have, well, it's not there anymore, but I did have the stock radiator, and I'm gonna swap that out to a MISHIMOTO radiator with MISHIMOTO fan shrouds. I'm also, like I said, I'm doing the SuperTech valve springs and retainers on the heads. Rebuilt the coilover. I don't know if I talked about that in a video. And that's pretty much it. I'm not changing too much because I really don't want to spend money that I don't need to spend to get the car running. So right now it's really just about spending money on parts that's really kind of turnkey just to get the car running. Now, as you probably have noticed in videos, Lexi has Samantha's bumper. No, I'm not going to go through the pain of taking that bumper off and trying to fit it on this car. We're just going to buy an entire new bumper, get it painted. I do have to buy a new bash bar, but for the time being, that's not like a necessity, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll just get one fabbed up or something like that. So we'll do a new bash bar, new bumper. A new what is this? What is this? Fender Liner. I just needed to get another Fender Liner because that's why my battery over there looks so nasty. It's just because everything's been flinging up and going back. But other than that, that's pretty much it for Samantha. That's where she stands. Everything else is good with the car. It's just that. So we'll be replacing that. And that's pretty much it. So now I'm just gonna go through today and I'm actually gonna clean up the engine bay. I'm gonna be hitting it with Adam's Polish strip wash with this power wash that my buddy Alex let me borrow, so thank you, Alex. This stuff works incredibly well. It works like a degreaser, so the thing is I'll be able to come in here, spray everything down with it, and then it'll just kind of help as a degreasing agent. It'll allow me to kind of get all these nasties off of the inside of the car, inside of the engine bay. So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm gonna do today, and yeah. Okay, I lied. I did spend a little money on something. I bought a wireless charging pad, and I'm gonna figure out a way to put it right there and make it the cleanest setup possible. You guys may or may not see a video on that, or it just may show up in a video one day. But yeah. Okay, so engine bay sprayed down, and you can already see there's a huge difference just around the frame, and that spot, it was covered in oil and nasties. Even my transmission tunnel right here, the bell housing, that's looking even better. Subframe's looking pretty good. Everything came out pretty good. I mean, I got in here, I scrubbed a little bit. I didn't really do anything crazy just because I would have had to really step in here and stuff like that. But, you know, just for like a really quick wash, it came out really, really good. So, if you're looking for something to clean up your engine bay, I highly recommend that Adams Pile Strip Wash. But this is where I'm gonna call this video. So if you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.